Hey there, I'm Fahad. If you run a business and you make all your decisions based on gut feeling and not data, it's costing you so much money that in 5 years from now, I'm pretty sure you're either not going to have a business or you're going to be stuck in the same position that you are in. I've been building reporting dashboards for the last 6 years for hundreds of clients, and the last one that we built was for a $2 billion VC firm where we built their own custom reporting dashboard software for them. So one thing I've seen that all these top entrepreneurs care about, all those guys, they really obsess. Why do they obsess about data? Because the only way you can grow is by doing more of the right things and doing less of the wrong things. How do you know these things? Everyone always looks at gut feelings. If I ask you the question, Fahad, where do you get the leads from? You'll be like, I think I get leads from this source, I think this source. You don't know the right answer. How can you go all in on the source that's working and remove the sources that's costing you a lot of money and not generating leads? If you don't track proper data in real time, you can't make good decisions and your business is going to crumble accordingly. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can fetch data from all these different sources, right? One problem I see with clients is they have data in this place, that place, here and here, so many places, right? They have data in so many places. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can combine them all into one source so you can track everything in a neat format. How to automatically fetch and pull information from all these sources in real time. So the data that you're looking at is not from 2 years ago, 2 weeks ago, but it's real time, and how to visualize this properly and have proper insights automatically sent to you so you never make an improper decision again. All right. So let's jump into it. So there is 3 steps. All right. So one thing you have to understand is there is 3 steps to creating a good reporting dashboard. And if you watch till the end of the video, I'm going to also show you one case study that I've done for a client, and I'll walk you through the exact steps I took, and I'll show you the reporting dashboard and the end product as well, so you can see what an actual stuff looks like. All right. So the first thing is this: in order for you to build a reporting dashboard, you need to define what KPIs you need. Now, the thing is, what's the KPI? Money is a good KPI. Yeah, that's not the KPI that you need to track. The KPI that you need to track is all the things that can help you do the right things. So oftentimes you're not the best person to define these KPIs, right? Unless you have someone who is in data analytics. So what I do is you have the best data analytics person in your laptop. It's called Cloud Coder, Perplexity, or ChatGPT. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the exact prompt, right? I'm going to give you the exact prompt that I use to develop my own KPIs, all right? So I'm going to give you an example. Like, this is the example prompt. Hey, XYZ, running a company called XYZ in this industry. My goal is to get towards this revenue level, and I'm currently at let's say $10,000 per month. Yeah, let's put it as $10,000 per month. What are the KPIs that I need to track to get there and scale further? And very important, these steps, my current sales process includes the following. Then you define your sales process, like, hey, first step is new leads. I get leads from Facebook, Google Ads, calls, emails, etc. Then you define the stage. You define what's the next stage. Then you try to contact. We try to call. In here, we try to call, and they either pick up or don't, and then you get the point. Then qualified proposal, negotiations, all that stuff. You define very important, define all the context, and then you like, hey, ask me any number of questions you need to help me get to these. And also at the end, let me know what all data I need to track for these KPIs. Then always give an example. If I want to track the ROAS, date of leads and spend from ads in one place, and the money generated. So this is a very simple prompt that I would recommend you use. I personally use this prompt, and let me show you what I got. Yeah. So as you can see, this is somewhat of a similar prompt I used at the top. Let's see, this is me. I said I'm not sure what I'm doing. So I wanted to develop scorecards for my team. Yeah, scorecards is a different thing. I'll get to that later. So I asked them, like, hey, I'm not sure what sort of scorecards I need. Could you help me understand it? We went back and forth to get the exact KPI. Yeah, I never recommend you use the first KPIs that they define. So I went back and forth and I defined exactly what KPIs I need to track. Core KPIs, engagement KPI for my team members, pipeline useness KPI, weekly reports KPI, what all things that you need, monthly reports, It defined exact KPIs that I need to track for each of my team members. It even gave calculations on how to calculate those things, right? So you can go back and forth until you define all the KPIs that you need. In general, if you're a business owner, the few of the key KPIs that you need to track is things like leads by source. Where are you getting the leads from? Lead conversion ratio, how much ratio conversion do you have? I'm going to show you. So contacts by source is what I have. Contacts by specific source, so I define which source group they're coming in from. I know some of them are from referral, I know some of them from direct. So this allows me to see which group is performing really well. For me, referrals are really working well because your boy does good stuff. So I can be like, hey, looks like our work is doing good, we're getting referrals. Okay, second is direct. So that means then others, and then the organic. Let's top up organic a bit. So that's the decision I'm making now. Now I can be like, hey, I want more specific information. What exactly does it mean by referral? Okay, looks like, I'm getting most of my leads from this community right here. Then I'm getting from Upwork. Then I'm getting from word of mouth. So this way I can track exactly what it is. I can track my conversion ratio. So I'm getting 40% conversion. I can see how many leads are being distributed. And if leads are being lost, you can be like an exact reason as to why they're lost. But anyways, this is not the impressive part. The impressive part is stuff like this. Complete visual dashboard. This is what I'm going to be showing at the end. Towards the end, this is what I'm going to be showing you guys. So complete reporting dashboard on how leads are performing, how many leads you're getting, leads by source, subscription over time, which source they're coming in from, all these things, right? I'll get towards you. Now that you define metrics, right? For example, let's talk about email subscription. I want to track how my email subscription is growing. I want to see how much unsubscribes I have, how much subscribes I have, how much leads are coming in. And I also want to see how my events are performing. If I run events, right? If I run online, offline events, I want to see how much registrations I get. And out of those registrations, I want to see who all showed up. So let's define those as my KPIs. Yeah, I talk to the agent. The agent's going to be like, hey, metrics you need is subscription rate, total number of subscriptions, subscription by source. So that it's going to be like, hey, you need to have fields like, you need to have a list of all the subscribers in one place, and then have different columns for source, a column for subscribe date, a column for unsubscribe date, a column called status, which shows subscribed or unsubscribed. So it's going to define these things, right? So once you define them, now you need to put them all in one place. So the next thing I need you, my friend, to do is I need you to go to, I'm not sure where you want to put this data, by the way. Yeah, you can put them in Google Sheets, you can put them in Excel. I personally, for this client, the example I'm about to show you, we put them all in this place yet. Like, my client wanted all of them in here. He wanted to track his product sales. So all the sales is in here, divided by these columns, like, which product they bought, which variant they bought, which amount, how much quantity, which campaign they came from. Then he wanted to track people from his event, who joined when did they join, which package they bought, if they're active, if they cancel, if they haven't canceled. All these things are being tracked in here, right? He can track all of these things in here. When they cancel, how much amount they bought, renewed, all this stuff can be tracked in here. You can see the subscription. So this is what he used. However, what I used, I love to keep everything in one place. So for me, since I use Notion as my project management system, I want to track everything in there. My core KPIs are tracked in here. So if I go to my dashboard where I track all the client projects, if I go to reporting, it's talk sales KPIs, yeah. So these are all the KPIs I'm currently visually tracking, right? I'll show you how to develop all these things later on. But I'm able to, so all the data is put in here. So this is the database that we put all the data. So it's up to you where you want to track everything, when you put everything, all right? Firstly, understand where you want to put, and once you finalize where you want to put all this dummy YT sheet, you defined all the KPIs, right? The agent is going to be like, hey, in order for you to track these things, you need these columns. So in order for me to track email subscriptions and subscriptions, basic things I need the name of the person, email of the person, I need the status, and the status is going to be either subscribe, or it's going to be unsubscribed, right? It's going to be unsubscribed. And yeah, I can just put a drop down in here. I can put a drop down, insert a drop down like this, put a drop down, and then a subscribed. So I have this drop down which is either a subscribed or unsubscribed. So it's either this or it's either this. All right, and then I can be like, hey, date of subscription, date of unsubscription, and then I can be like source. These are the only fields I need, right? If I want to track where people came from, and if I want to track who subscribed, who unsubscribed, if I want a dashboard like this, right, that tracks all the email analytics like this, these are the only sources I need. Statuses, data subscription, unsubscription, source. First, you need to define, you need to create it's always best if you do this so you can understand what's going on. So I would recommend you create a column like this, table like this. For example, in order for me to understand, I wanted to understand, my team is heavily on Upwork, so I want to understand, what sort of projects are applying, how often do they apply, if they applied, what all they applied. From those applied, who viewed? From those viewed, what turned out to be a good lead, what turned out to be a good call, and what ended up closing. We list all the proposals in here by name, by link, by status, and these are the statuses that we have: qualified, applied, viewed, replied, call book, closed. And then we have amount, then we have rejection reason, submission date, connects. All these are key data that we need, and higher rate is a calculation that we have, right? So these are all the key data that we use to create all these reports. So firstly, once you define everything, create all the columns. Now let's talk about bringing everything together, right? So I wanted what? I need I need email subscription. And the next thing I need is products event, right? Events. So I'm going to call this events, and I'm going to be like, hey, name of the person, email, event name, ticket type, so that we can see which ticket they bought, amount, date of purchase, source. So these are the only two things I need, right? This thing is in my CRM, okay? And this thing is in my D2C store. It's in Shopify, it's in there, it's in here. So second thing, as I said, is one source of truth. In order for you to have an effective reporting, you need data from different sources, right? Like if I want to track how my ads are performing, I need report from my meta ads, I need report from my CRM of the leads that this meta ads generated. So one source of truth to put all of them together. How do we do that automatically? We can manually pull them in. My team is currently manually doing these things because they're manually sending proposals, doing all these things. But certain things like subscription, all these things, like for this client, right? For this client, we don't manually put them in. If it's manually put them in, they have to wait every week. Some VA or some guy manually puts them in, and they're looking at the data from last week. That's not a good way to do things. So we need to set up automations in place. The tools I recommend is called make.com. In make.com, these are the list of automations that we have, which fetches information from different platforms, right? So let me just show you one example of email subscriptions. So here's email subscription happens on Go High Level. So we set up a very simple webhook. Yeah, this webhook. What is webhook? Webhook is basically in one software. I'm telling this software that, hey, whenever you get a lead, just send the information to this lead to this URL. Because I copy this URL, I go to that Go High Level, I give them this URL. I'm like, hey, every time you get a lead, make sure you send the message to this person with all their details. That's all that is. This automation is basically getting all the items, and we have this very simple automation that searches if they already exist. If they don't exist, that means it's going to create the person. So it's that simple. So all we do is automatically take them. As soon as the lead is created, put them in there. It's that simple. That's how you set up automations, and all these things that you see right here. You see all these things, most of them, I would say 60% of them are just automations that's adding stuff in. We had like 15 different automations that just kept adding. So this is data coming in from their payment system. So these automations, we set up webhooks from their payment systems where every time someone subscribes, every time someone subscribes, it's this. Every time someone updates, it's this. Every time someone cancels, it's this. So this automation is triggered. We create the row in the sheet, and then we update them accordingly. All right. So we have different automations. So for you, I'm assuming you need to connect your Stripe. Every payment that happens on Stripe, put them in the sheet, or every payment from this particular product. If you're tracking that product, put them in the sheet. And it's very simple to create make.com, right? You guys, it should be pretty simple for you guys to understand on what needs to be done. Okay. So now that we defined source of truth, setting up these things, connecting all these different platforms together, now we need to build a visual layer. Now there is few ways in which you can go by building these visual layers. Yeah. Recommendation number one, the quickest, simplest, easiest way is you can build charts within the platform that you use itself. So it's very, very simple. Very simple for you to use. For example, if I want to build a chart in here, I can easily click on insert, click on charts, click on pivot chart. It's quite easy. I just create a chart like this in here, and then I just define. I define what the x-axis should be. I should define what the y-axis should be. It's going to take you some time to figure these things out, right? It's going to take you some time to customize this. I'm going to show you in the tool which I'm comfortable with. If I want to create a new chart in Notion, and I'm going to call this charts. I'm going to call this proposal sent, and then I can be like, hey, once I have this, okay. Now I want to edit this chart, yeah? I can make this chart, I can make this bar chart, I can make this line chart, I can make this pie chart. I want to make this into a pie chart, yeah? And I can show what to show x-axis, I can show what to show in x-axis, I can show what to show in y-axis. I can be like, hey, in x-axis, show me status, and in y-axis, I don't want to see the count, I want to see the dates. At which dates we send. So I can be like, hey, use submission date. And it's going to use the submission date, okay? On 24th is when we apply, it's going to show, that doesn't make sense. Submission date, group by week. So now as you can see, it defines by which week we send what. Okay, these many are sent on this week, these many were sent on this week, these many were sent on replied. So it properly defines what is being shown by what. So this is how you create charts, right? It's very simple. And now you need to create charts that matter to you. What you want to visually see and track, just like this. Very simple. You do the calculation. However, However, your time is more important. I would not recommend you sit and create these charts. The second step of creating charts is by using a visual layer, like a tool called Looker Studio. Looker Studio or Power BI are beautiful tools, right? Beautiful tools created by humanity to visualize the data that you see. It's so much easier. It's free by Google. It's developed by Google. All you have to do is you can either directly create connections, because it's Google product, you can automatically connect to Google Analytics, you can connect to Google Console, you can connect it to YouTube, and you don't have to do anything. Just connect the data and it's going to show all the, like, it's going to show you, for example, when you connect the data, right, it's going to show all the KPIs that you can have from this source. So for example, you see this person connected their YouTube Analytics. It can show annotation ID. It's going to all these video links, video link, user subscription added, users comments added. It's so easy. You just put them in here like this, and it's so easy. The data is quite easy for you to see, right? Where is it? It's quite easy. Just take, plug and play. However, if you want something as beautiful as this, right, I would recommend you go to Fiverr or Upwork or find some devs who can set this up for you very quickly. So that's the best way to do this. But the most important part is not the visualization or the KPIs, but the integration. This is where I see so many people mess up, is like, the art and the beauty of adding these things in, making sure the data that they bring in is clean, making sure they're formatted correctly, making sure there's no problems, no duplication of errors. You have to find good devs that can automatically, if it's not you who's setting it up, you need to find good devs that think about all the ways in which things could fail. Like, you could have someone who already exists, and the automation adds them. What do? You need to set up a layer that finds them and updates them if they already exist. Stuff like that, all those things need to be considered. So it's that simple. All you need to do is firstly define the metrics. You need to create one source of truth where all the data is being pulled in from meta ads, this platform, that platform, pull them all in one place, then build a visual layer. Now I want to show you a case study of the client that we worked with. So when we were working with Anthony O'Neill, right? So this is Anthony O'Neill, yeah. So Anthony O'Neill was the co-host of the Dave Ramsey show, one of the biggest creators in the financial space. And when he came to me, right, he was like, Fahad, I have so many data coming from so many different places, right? He has data coming from so many different places. I want to track sales of my books. I want to track sales of my events. I want to track sales of my monthly school program. I want to track the revenue of my monthly education platform. And I want to track how many leads I'm getting, and I want to track how they're performing. And what he said was, Fahad, I don't know how to do this. He just gave me a list of contacts, right? He's like, Fahad, I have this list. I think we can automatically pull things in, and I want you to create one bar chart, 1 or 2 bar charts. That's it. So I can visualize, because he said this is the exact data that we had, right? Not this one. It was more of something like this. He had just the name, just few details here and there. And he's like, Fahad, I need to track, I think this is this is the initial data. He's like, Fahad, this is what I have. I'm not able to track these things properly, and I want you to have 1 or 2 bar charts so I can at least visualize these things. I was like, you know what, Anthony, I'm going to do you one better. So the first thing that we did is we defined what KPIs that he needs and what all tools that he wants to visualize, and then what we did was we connected all of them. So we realized he wanted to track emails, he wanted to track YouTube, he wanted to track website, he wanted to track events, and he wanted to track his book sales, product sales, and event subscriptions and events and how that's performing. Yeah. So these 7 things you want to track. So we created 7 different sheets, and we created columns for each of them. For email subscriptions, date, name, email, sources where they came from, status, date of when they unsubscribed. This is GHL ID is the ID of the contact that we created. This is not needed, but we just added that in there. Same thing with products, name, detail, which product they bought, which variant they bought, how much they paid, how much quantity, and how much of which campaign they came from. So book sales, we did the same thing. The subscription tool, we did the same thing, where we date of join, their name, their email, which variant they bought, what's their status. So either it's active, they are actively paying every month, or they are doing a trial, or they have a payment failure, or they cancelled and they had a payment failure and they cancelled directly. So date of cancellation is there, the amount they paid is there, the last renew date is there, the monthly total, the accumulated total that they paid is here, the total amount they paid is here, the next renewal date is here, and it shows how much payments they made as well, so they can track what's going on. So these are, and it also shows the book sales, which book they bought, where they bought from. They bought from Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Source, which did they pre-order, or did they actively buy it, or are they in the wait list? So it tracks all these things, right? And once we define these columns, then we set up 16 different automations, right? I showed you these automations. So these are just one of the automation. There are so many automations that they have. There is this automations, there is membership automation, there's membership cancellation automation, mini chat automation. From all these leads where they're coming in from, we all track everything. Everything is properly tracked. 16 different automations updating 6 different sheets at every single time in real time. Let me just show you one of the automations look like. Yeah, so this is what one of the automations look like that aid the product listing. Yeah, so they get the data from other tools, so they get data from Go High Level, they get data from their payment processes, and yeah, mostly it's these two platforms that we've connected. So this just adds them in based on which products they bought. So simple automations. And then once we were done, we didn't just bring them a bar chart, we created an entire visual overview on all their data. Yeah, so we created a website analytic, we created website analytics. This shows all the website data on how things are performing, where they're getting leads from. This shows the SEO, how much impressions did they get, who's clicking, what's their average position, how things are performing. They have email analytics, like how email is performing, how this is performing. And we have, this is the subscription of their platform monthly, how much members they have, who all are active, who all are paying, how many are trialing, how many cancelled. They can see the numbers active by weeks, they can see the revenue by month, which month, this month they made $300,000. So they can see all these numbers, right? It's quite easy to track product purchase. They can see the product purchase, they can see the YouTube analytics as well. We connected directly to YouTube, subscriptions and subscription views. So beautiful, so amazing. This is the beauty of data-driven decision making. You're making decisions based on what's working. You can see what's working. Okay, this video, okay, I can see you got an average view of 54,000 that day. That means we're doing well that day. What did we do well that day? Let's go back and see. Let's go back and check. So this is how you can visually see and track everything. Much more beautiful, amazing. And that's the beauty of data-driven reporting, right? And guess what? What's even crazier is that we even built an AI-powered analysis for them on Slack. So if you check Slack, if you come to Slack, we built them an AI-powered analysis. So they loved it. He loved it. So every week it goes through all these data. It captures all the information. Then AI gives them analysis every week and every quarter. Like, hey, based on this data that you have, last quarter you had 5,000 subscribers. This quarter you have 10,000. That means you did something really well. Like say, hey, average growth, your retention, people stay on an average of 81 days. So AI is able to get more insights rather than you thinking about it, and it's going to give to your every week, every quarter, and every month. It's beautiful. So that's what we ended up doing as well. So that's the beauty of data-driven reporting, right? So hope this video was helpful to you. All the resources will be attached below. So to recap, we discussed about how to define the right key sources, how to have one source of truth, and how to visualize data accordingly. The prompt that I used will be attached below, and any other things will be attached below. I hope you found this video helpful. If you need more information, comment below. Happy to answer them. And if you need further assistance on something like this, please feel free to contact my team on the link below. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care and have a good day. Bye.